Powered by the Montana Television Network. The 5:30 news continues on KPAX, Montana's news leader.
Some good news for Missoula drivers and traffic flow around town. Russell Street Bridge is reopened after a paving project got finished earlier than anticipated. The Montana Department of Transportation had planned to close the bridge for 2 days, but crews finished the paving project early and reopened the bridge this afternoon. It took crews less than a day to get the work done. It will help mitigate potholes and other damages that the deteriorating bridge endures every winter.
Lawmakers are hoping a package of bills they approved in the last session will help reduce the amount of people in prison in Montana.
In our continuing reports on examining the changes in Montana, MTN's Mackenzie Frost explores how a new professional board of pardons and parole is supposed to work toward those goals.
The new full-time professional parole board is comprised of individuals who have extensive knowledge in corrections and law enforcement. Governor Steve Bullock has appointed the 5 new members, including Chairman Scott Cruz, a former FBI agent, and Annette Carter, who worked for the Corrections Department on reentry programs for inmates. The old board, comprised of part-time volunteer members, made decisions based on recommendations from its own staff. Those recommendations often differed from those made by prison staffers who had closely worked with inmates on parole plans, allowing for inconsistencies in decisions.
When we don't use those same factors, it can be inconsistent and we might make mistakes.
An idea Montana State Prison's new warden, Michael Fletcher, is looking forward to as well.
Before, they haven't been actively involved 365 days a year, and now they're giving us feedback on what we can do better, and there's a lot more of a collaborative effort between the two entities.
The idea is to create a clear path for low-risk inmates to gain parole if they meet certain requirements and have a plan to help them succeed outside of prison walls. Part of that plan is a risk and needs assessment for every criminal offender, also required by the new laws.
Now, using that risk assessment, we're going to be talking the same language. They're going to be looking at the programming that we're going to want people to have.
As part of its overall plan, state correction leaders are modifying data systems to track the success of offenders leaving prison or on supervision outside of prison. The parole board is just starting to discuss how it will measure the success.
But until we can really say that that's an accurate portrayal of how things are working out, we have to get all of these changes implemented and working together in concert before we'll really see how effective it's being.
As these changes are implemented, Board Chairman Cruz says he hopes one thing is known to each inmate, family member, and the public.
Everyone who comes before this parole board should expect to be treated the same way, fairly and consistently.
Of course, it's too early to know the effects of this change, but one thing is clear. The Parole Board and the Corrections Department say they want to be on the same page of finding a more consistent path for inmates to re-enter the community. In Deer Lodge, Mackenzie Frost, MTN News.
Tomorrow we'll take a look at how these reforms are perceived by the people they affect the most directly, those criminal offenders. Well, still ahead, any break anytime soon from the hot and hazy conditions. Erin breaks down our forecast for us.
Plus, she has more on what could be some pretty gusty conditions for some in the area as we hit the middle of the work week. Her forecast coming up on KPAX.